Good morning, Zodiac. Welcome. Doing the Soul Family read here for whoever resonates. Okay, this is the last day of August 2021. Oh, that's a big deal to me. Part of it's conditioning. You know, the last day of August as I grew up, it pretty much was your last day of freedom as a kid. You had to go back to school. Sagittarius, oh my God, the last day of school in May or June. It is like, it's still up there with one of the greatest experiences of my life. One of the best feelings. As a Cancer moon, you know, I judge everything by how it feels. Doesn't matter what the reality of it is. Yeah, just how does it feel? How does it make me feel? You know? So, August 31st. I was thinking it really hit me hard yesterday, the negative thoughts I have, and they're not like, they're like fear-based thoughts. I'll have like kind of fantasies. And I've learned years ago that, you know, kind of like how I hear the voices, like they're thoughts that are kind of not mine. And that's how it arises, so I just kind of recognize it. It doesn't like scare me or anything. Because I recognize that it's some part of myself, I believe, you know, that's doesn't have language ability, you know, not left brain, and it's trying to communicate to me, and that's how it does it. And you know, but it's just simple stuff, like sort of like don't burn yourself. It could be like that, but it's a lot, and I realized like it's kind of how fear-based it is. It really was a revelation for me, where I want to get beyond, where so much of my consciousness is because I see it very clearly, and I'm constantly now telling myself, well, that's not really a concern. Here's why. I talk to myself in my head. That seems to help me. Because it really isn't a concern, you know. Using the Gilded Tarot Royale. Most of the time, I mean, fear is good, you know. Keeps you from getting hit by a bus on the street, you know. Ego's good. Ego's our friend. It's just... when there's these irrational fears, it comes from childhood stuff and abandonment and all that, we know. So that's my theme of the day, the last day of August. Other than, you know, it's like kind of sad to me because it's like summer's going, you know, from where I grew up. It's like, has all this kind of heavy energy about it. Wow, Two of Swords. And this is showing up in the reading, where we're at in terms of love and relationship, where our mind is at, where our heart is at. Two of Swords and the blinders are on. I don't think this is about a lover. This is about us, you know. It's kind of like yesterday, lacking the confidence quite to make that next big leap, big change. Remember, it was a two of Wands yesterday started us out. So today's Two of Swords. I'll take that. It's like we're thinking about it. We're thinking about it. You know, Two of Swords is like, this is just life, you know. Sometimes you're Two of Swords, sometimes you just don't know. This is kind of, to me, is like, I just don't know what to do. You're saying to someone, I don't know what to do, you know. You've thought about it, Swords, and thought about it, Swords, and it's just kind of, you got nothing. Okay, and typically it implies, you know, the swords are crossing the heart, really, if you look anatomically, and, you know, implies that there's a lack of emotions, which really rings a bell with me. There's something very deep, very emotional, it's subtle. This is not something, you know, Dr. Phil is going to talk about, if that makes sense. But it's something significant, something spiritual, something that's blocking us from reaching a next level. One reason I was concerned about really experiencing my thoughts, I think it's really an aqua moon thing, really brought that out, the reality of things. Also, I have Pluto opposite moon transit, and Pluto goes there. You have no secrets anymore when Pluto opposes your moon. Or conjuncts, God forbid, and, you know, good or bad, you know, the light goes on, and all the hidden things that probably maybe sometimes for a reason, you know, to deal with, come up. And so I just kind of realized it's like you're planning your day. If you spend a large part of your day wasting your time when you really didn't have to, you're just wasting your time. So if I'm spending a lot part of my day, having these thoughts that are kind of like negative and concerned thoughts anyway, fearful thoughts, I'm just wasting my emotional time, and I'm wasting my spiritual energy, which, I'm putting out in more ways than one, which is cool, is what life's about. But it's like I realize I don't have a lot of energy to waste. Okay, this is what's crossing us. 7 of Cups. Wow, this is deep. Well, you got the 2 of Swords and then 7 of Cups crossing. I don't even want to look at that as reversed so much. It just says a lot. And, 7 of Cups, I think I was talking about yesterday. Yeah, we need our hopes and dreams. And even the Mars versus opposite Neptune, which is still hidden, is like this. It's like Mars wants to knock that away. Mars wants to strip it down, say, what can we actually get? What, right now, what can we accomplish? It has, in opposition to Neptune, it has no patience for the future. Okay? And this is really, this 2 of Swords, maybe what this is about, is kind of like questioning reality. For me, it can be questioning the spiritual reality of, I was telling my friend the other day, the universe has virtually been doing backflips for me. I don't know how to put it other than that. I mean, amazing. And I still have a hard time. I'm still skeptical, that what I'm tapping into. I just remain skeptical. I guess I keep wanting to find a psychological reason for it. It's just, I think that has something to do. And it's so, like, in terms of manifesting, I think the ultimate advice for manifesting is you have to believe it. That's the trick. I mean, if it was as easy as I just want great love, everyone would have a great love pretty much. That's not that hard, just to think that. But to feel it and believe it, I think that I finally got to the point where I believed, and I just did. I have dreams and synchronicities, downloads directly, and that seemed to make a difference for me. I'm still having trouble. You would think, like, okay, you got this gift, it works, you just kind of reproduce it, but I don't know. It's not that easy for the other aspects of my life. Well, let's see what the advice is here. Wow. Now we're going to look at the bottom of the deck, but I'm keeping that because it's like I might wait for the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to wait for the bottom until we pull the outcome card. But look here now. If that's not about putting down our burdens and trying to start this cycle, this does go back to yesterday. Remember the wands and needing to take action and preparing to take action, but not quite ready to take action. And it's like, this is like the advice is it's time to go. It's like time to just drop that and go. And imagine, I was saying about myself, it's like this energy I spend being negative. It's like, imagine if I drop that energy, how much more energy I'll have to use on things that are very important that I need to use it on. It comes to me too, man, it was back in like 2009. I used to watch, oh God help me, I used to watch the news, the cable news. I'm liberal, basically I'm a socialist, so, whatever it was, MSNBC. And I began to realize just how negative it all was and how kind of meaningless it was and how kind of involved I was in as I'm listening to something and getting like emotionally, and this hit me. It's like, what are you doing? This is such a waste of time. It goes nowhere. But this is kind of like this energy I'm feeling. It's something like this going on with us. It could be different, just giving examples from my own life. But something subtle, a belief system. This stuff, the belief systems are not just like about Christianity. It's about I'm never good enough. It's impossible I'll ever have material wealth. I come steeped in the ancestry of poverty, whatever it might be. And clear advice is to put that down. Before we look at the bottom of the deck, that's what I call my ace in the hole. Swear to God, this is an amazing reading, guys. Let me get these down here where you can see them. I don't know if you can. So, this is us, Two of Swords, do-do-do. This is what's blocking us. And over this powerful Ten of Wands. This is our advice from Spirit. That's just got to be put down, the burden, okay? And then the outcome is judgment. It's a little heavy. That's why I waited. I knew to wait for the ace in the hole because judgment calls us out. Boy, judgment goes. Look at even the colors match. Look. Mita. This is what's going on. Judgment is the higher self. It usually we don't want it. It's not just about judging somebody. No, it's karma. It's karma time. But this is not bad. But it's like what you've been trying to figure out is what's calling you. It's what's calling us up to do something, to not do something, to accomplish something. It's calling us to our destiny. But typically, again, this is if it was easy, everyone would already achieve their destiny. Everyone would have everything they want because they'd simply say, I want a new washing machine, and it would appear. So, but this is calling out from something deep inside, something subtle, something, maybe Dr. Phil would talk about this, I don't know, he goes pretty deep. But it's like kind of that energy of, Gabriel's blowing the whistle here, it's like, everybody out of the pool, everybody, it's time to level up, it's time, no more playing around. You like being called out by the universe, it's like, jigs up, Ollie, oxen free. But on the bottom of the deck, and I think this says everything about this reading here, and this is the last day of August, guys. Wheel of Fortune. Jupiter, I think is at 27 degrees Aquarius. But that's going to be very important. It is Jupiter. This is a Jupiter card. And this is about manifestation still. It really is. Like, we're just talking to manifestors here. That's changing. This is the manifestor read. But it's a lot of it. And we're still dealing line gate. That's going to go on for months. It doesn't just come and go on 8/8. But I see here just amazing. This is going very, very deep. This is not psychology. This is not pop anything. This is a very deep and genuine spiritual evolution. I mean, questioning everything. You got to question God to find God. Everyone knows this. Being kind of lost. It can be emotional turmoil. It's what's blocking us. And the universe coming up and saying, enough, put down all of your burdens, everything that doesn't serve you. No more kidding fucking around. No more kidding around is judgment. No more kidding around, put the fucking burdens down. Because it's time for you to do what you've been called to do. Comes the Wheel of Fortune, which almost always turns in our favor. Is very positive here. And number 10. Ending of a cycle, beginning of a new cycle. And this is literally when the universe gives us a gift, I think. Jupiter is my planet. It's the great benefic. And it gives gifts, It's the lottery, Jupiter doesn't, not Saturn. Jupiter doesn't care if you work hard or deserve it. It just throws out the stuff, the goodies sometimes. But this is the outcome, judgment. I don't even think I have to tell anybody, you got to make this this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. Oh, this is why I say this is the only card that matters. This is like reassurance from the universe that we're on the right path and that you're going to get yours, and it's coming. It's coming. Yeah. And it's going to be positive. And it might be hard to predict exactly what it is. If you're strongly manifesting, you may know what it is. You have a feeling about it. You'd be like, I know exactly what it is. But this could be something that definitely with the Wheel of Fortune comes out of left field. but in a good way. Sorry, fixed signs. For Sag, that's like, oh boy, I can't wait. Thank you, guys.